Welcome to this next episode of Cooking in Quarantine. This week, or this episode, we're going to be making flapjacks. A nice easy recipe to do. Again, one that's something fun to do with the kids. Very easy. You can adapt this recipe. I'm making a very basic one today, but you can add things to it. Some people like apple and raisin, some people like coconut, cherry, various different things, nuts in their flapjack. I'm just making a very basic one, like I say, and then you can add to it. So these are your ingredients. We've got 250 grams of porridge oats. We've got 125 grams of butter, 125 grams of brown sugar, and 2 to 3 tablespoons of golden syrup. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put all the stuff together. Before we start, you need to preheat your oven to 200 degrees if it's not got a fan. If you've got a fan, 180 degrees. So preheat it, let it go. That's roughly about gas mark 6, gas mark 7, something like that. So the oven we've got on preheating as we speak. So on with the recipe. Very easy to do. Right, as you can see, I've got the porridge oats here in a bowl. 250 grams of that. I'm going to add the brown sugar to it. Right, soft brown sugar. The problem with brown sugar is it tends to stick and it's quite moisty, but just get that in there. Just give it a quick mix together. Break up the sugar so it's not in big clumps. Okay, you can use other sugars, but I prefer brown sugar for the taste. Now your butter, I always break it up. I don't like big chunks of butter when I'm doing the baking because it takes it longer for it to break down. I usually have it out for a bit so it's soft, not straight from the fridge, because if it's straight from the fridge it's going to be really hard. So let it soften a bit, break it up into bits and put it all in there, all your butter. Remember, you're going to need some butter on top of this 125 grams to grease your tray that we're going to be preparing the flapjack in. So I've added that, as you can see, very roughly. Just one little piece left. Yep. And then the golden syrup. Now, like I say, it's tablespoons. I think I might have said teaspoons earlier, but it's actually tablespoons. So you need 3 to 4 or 2 to 3 tablespoons of golden syrup. This is just going to bind everything together. Obviously, if you're doing it like I am, in bowls, to show you what I've got, I've put in a little bit extra because with golden syrup it tends to stick to everything, so make sure you get it all out. There we go. Again, this is one that's going to be messy. So now it comes to mixing all the ingredients together. You can do this by hand using a wooden spoon, however you like, but for ease I'm going to use a blender or a mixer, whatever you call it in your household. But make sure you don't break the oats up too much. So you don't want it on a high pulse, you want it on a quite low pulse, just so that it binds everything together. So I'm going to add everything straight in to the blender. All the ingredients are now in the blender. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set it, and like I said, don't do it on too much of a high power. You just want to bring it together. So you can do it like that, or if you've got a push button, you're just binding it together, mixing it all together. So your mixture should look something a little bit like this. Okay, remember, you might look at it and think, oh, wait a second, it's not the right colour. We haven't baked it yet. So what I'm going to do now, take the mixture and put it in the grease tray. Remember I said get a tray, we need to grease it so that the stuff doesn't stick. Again, it's up to you what you use. I prefer butter. Some people prefer oil when it comes to their choice of greasing a tray. Make sure you get all your mixture out, because remember we've used golden syrup, so it is quite sticky and some of it will be stuck to the bottom, so you make sure you get it all out and in your tray. So once you've got it all in your tray, you need to just press it down like we did if you've seen the shortbread video. So I'll need that knife in a bit, so just put it to one side. Let's do that bit again. Right, so you put all your mixture in the tray and you press it down. Make sure you're filling in the gaps. Press it right down. Okay. Your hands are going to get really, really sticky. Spread it out so that it looks even. You don't want some thin areas, some thick areas, because what will happen then is you'll get an inconsistency in your bake. Okay. For this recipe, you might want to use a 20 by 20 tin. That's roughly the right size you're going to need for these flapjacks. Once it's all pressed in, one thing you need to do before you put it in the oven is you need to score your flapjack, because if you try and cut it after it's cooked, it might crumble and break away, so it's better to cut it and score it into your pieces first. As you can see, I've got a knife ready to do that. So I'm going to score these into about 12 pieces, all scored, ready to go straight into the oven. Once they're in the oven, like I say, leave it for 15 to 20 minutes. Just come back, check on it every now and again, and that just leaves us to go away and do some other things. Oh, he's turned it, and he's in, oh, look at that! What a goal! Merchant, you losers! They've been in the oven now for about 15 minutes-ish. As usual, when I'm doing baking like this, with a few minutes to go in the time limit, I've turned the oven off, so it's just going to bake in its own heat. Like I said, they've been in there now for about 15 minutes-ish. But remember, when you keep checking, some ovens, they might bake quicker, might bake a bit slower, so go by your oven. Okay, so take them out and put them on a cooling tray and let them cool for about another 15 minutes-ish. Let it thoroughly cool down before you take it away and start plating up. Right, okay, the flapjacks have been plated up. As you can see, I put them in the fridge to cool them down a little bit quicker, which you can do as well. Like I said, you can adapt the recipe to the way you want it. You can add nuts, you can add seeds, you can add various different types of fruits in there. Try your combinations. Perfect for breakfast because oats are slow release energy, and it's good for in the morning for breakfast. So if you've got anywhere to go, especially in these lockdown times before you go to work, from your bedroom to your living room, you're going to school, from your living room to your bedroom, yeah, brilliant for you. So hope you enjoy these. Keep an eye out for more videos coming soon from Cooking in Quarantine. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.